Okay, A Martian Odyssey. This story begins. We're not particularly informed about a mission. We just know that we have an exploratory journey that winds up on Mars. Okay, we have an exploratory vehicle that goes out, piloted by the gentleman Jarvis, that somehow or another crashes or whatever, and he finds himself in a precarious situation. It is at this point that he encounters an assault of some type. His tendencies kick in, and he rescues who turns out to be his companion for at least for a minute. He names him Tweel. I think that's based on the sounds that he makes, something to this effect. Tweel, if I was in another environment, I'd state it differently. However, I like Tweel. He's a good dude. I like him. And he's very loyal, and he's quite smart. He does have intelligence. I don't understand the argument the gentleman Harrison is making. I think he's the astronomer, captain of the journey, so on and so forth. He seemed to take offense to the suggestion that this creature may come from a class or group of individuals having certainly equal and quite possibly superior intelligence. He's unaccepting in this particular premise. Okay, Jarvis and Tweel link up. They move across in the process of Jarvis finding his way back to camp, base, whatever. Another gentleman is flying around looking for him. They see him a couple of times. I think this is Hertz, the rescue mission, so on and so forth. However, Tweel, Jarvis, Tweel, they run into their own set of circumstances while they're navigating the horizon, getting the gentleman back. They run across different groups of people. They run across the stone fella building the pyramids. I personally think that's a jab at the Egyptian pyramids. For some reason or other, they still not quite sure how to build that. For some reason, that came up to mind. The Dream Beast, that's another character that is a little complex. We've all had that apparition to some degree, I think. However, the last group, the barrel brutes, these individuals, they remind me of ants. But they, in my opinion, constitute the gist of the story. They're going on about their business. For some reason or another, the encounter is peace until they are violated. Now, you call it what you want to call it, but the taking of someone else's possessions for whatever the reason is a violation. They took offense to that, and here we go. Everything was fine until the rock or whatever it was taken. Now, you say whatever it is that you want to say. However, that was not the possession of Jarvis, as he made it his possession. And I'm quite certain that others would benefit from that. But at whose cost? At what cost will the gain come? I think that what we have to understand here is that advancement of one's program, advancements of the next person's agenda should not come at the expense of others, particularly when you have an aid and assistance from those who come from an environment within which you're taking something. So we have to be careful about the broader implications here and wrapping that in some type of human virtue. It was not, in my opinion, proper to remove something under these circumstances the way that it was. And ultimately, a price will be paid for that. In closing, I would like to go back and refer to the editorial. There's something that came to mind speaking about this editorial, whereas we see similarities in what has come to be versus what evolved out of science fiction. I submit that imagination plays an important role. And I now have to go back and revisit my dialogue on romanticism. I think when we discussed one of those genres where human thought is not based on logic or should not be based purely on logic, but on imagination. I see it as the imagination of others coming through these science fiction depictions that actually give the basis of what we are going to work on. Let's think about it. When a scientist goes into a laboratory or inventor goes in laboratory, he needs something from which to draw inspiration upon. And I think that science fiction has served us very well in that instance. So does art imitate life? Does life imitate art? I think that there's a nexus between the two, and we see that coming together here in these particular stories. So I hope that articulates at least my prediction. But Zeal, that's my dude. Twill, yeah, I can do Twill. I think Twill is the true hero of the Martian Odyssey. Thank you.